is up, everybody? Hey, look, I already see the homie Johnny Bionic. You're already cutting up. He said, watch Stadia. Why today, my friend? They definitely showed you why today. Anybody see Yang Ye? I haven't seen it. There's been a Yang Ye sighting. Wrong Ye. Let us know if there's a Yang Ye sighting. Besides all that silliness, let's get into it. Shout out to Johnny Bionic. We got a stellar, hell of a panel today. I don't want to waste too much time bloviating. We are here, SSC Podcast, episode number 37. Let's get right into it. First and foremost, my illustrious co-host, my good friend, Projekt Storm. How are you doing today, my good friend?
Doing good, man. I hope everybody is too. Feeling real good, man. I will say right now, I missed the event. I had some work to take care of for the job real quick, man, at the last minute, But I'm gonna recap. I'm gonna catch up. I'm gonna pay attention to what you all can share with me. And I heard it was dope. I heard some good things was going on today. So I'm ready to jump into it, man.
Now, Storm, we love you. We're going to accept that apology. We're going to take that as an apology. I don't care what happens. Anything Stadia related, you must stop everything. No, that's all right, man. Hey, look.
No, I got you.
I barely caught it myself. In a special shout out to our Patreon members, I barely caught it myself, so I know what you're talking about. But when you do watch it, my good friend, you'll be happy that you did. All right, we got two special guests with us today. All right. We got our good friend, the ever so sly and sneaky Ray Sherrod. How you doing, Ray? How you doing today, my good friend?
Man, I am so happy they did something extremely good today. Extremely good. I'm extremely happy.
Awesome. Definitely. And last but certainly not least, his return to the show is long overdue. He is my spiritual advisor. Whenever I want to nosedive off the cliff, Clive says, MM2K, come on, stop it, man. Just make it. My good friend, Clive Linden. Clive, how you been, man?
I am good, and I'm going to have to up my intro game because that music was like full of. I was like, full of big box, little box there. As we used to say in the old dance scene here, the roof was off.
Oh,
right. Off. Yeah.
You know what, Clive? When we're all muted and that's playing, my neck is bobbing like that cat meme that's so famous now. Yeah.
Big box, little box. That's what we used to say. Big box, little box. Big box, little box.
Man. So definitely great stuff today. Wow. I didn't expect it to have the impact that it definitely had because we saw the stuff in the chat. We're definitely going to talk about it, but I want to go to our chat because we have a great chat too. We got people like Charles O'Brien. He says, hey guys, we got American Goulet. He says, Outcast is a lot of fun. That looked a lot better and a lot more fun than I expected it to be. So that was fantastic. All right. And here goes some more positive vibes from our good friend Cold Blood Sensei. He says, Storm, say the most. He chose the wrong streaming platform. All right. Now that's enough for you. We got a good friend Stadia talking house. He says, today is what we needed for over a year, but amazing job by Google Stadia. Shout out to him. Shadow says, I'm loving Outcasters. Got a W in BR mode. Awesome. And everybody else, Zogic says, what's up? All of you guys, Brian Aguilar is in the house as well. Thank you so much for coming through, everybody. I don't want to forget anybody. YDB Gaming's in the house. That Stadia show was great. We got another good positive person, Ann Munar. He says, Outcasters, what? Ooh, almost had a heart attack. Did he just say Outcasters look fun? Hopefully we will see it in a real game. Oh man, get out of here. Hopefully we'll see it in you saw it on a real gaming machine, the one that doesn't cost you $500 and shuts off every 5 minutes. Did I say that? Oh, no, I didn't. Anyway, let's get on to the show, my good friend. Well, you know what? No. I got to pay bills. Storm will kill me if I don't pay these bills. We got to pay bills. This show is definitely part of the PNTS network. And today is SSC Podcast. PNTS network also hosts on Saturdays SML Podcast with Storm. It's going to be on your channel this week, right?
Yes, it is. At 11 o'clock Eastern time.
Definitely don't miss it. Go to Projekt Storm sub. Make sure that you're there because we're going to do live phone calls. We're going to do yappas, all that good stuff. You don't want to miss it. We're going to have a great time. We're going to have a grand old time. All right. And then Sunday, Projekt Storm, Snow Bunny, Yang Meets Yang of Gaming. Great podcast. If you watched our show last night and you love the dynamic of them two going back and forth. You definitely want to watch that show every Sunday. You guys are moving to a new time, Storm, right? What time is it now?
Well, we're going to be moving at 2 p.m. instead of 6 p.m. Eastern. So that's going to be earlier, give people a lot of time to go ahead and hang out and do what you have to do for unwind for work the very next day and all that. So, yeah, should be fun. I'm excited about the new time change.
Make that note, y'all. Yin meets Yang of gaming is now 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's 4 hours earlier. And then last but not least, of course, the podcast, the aforementioned podcast from yesterday, The Commission, starring me, Projekt Storm, Snow Bunny, and Tron Nee of the Roundtable Podcast. We go live every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to have a new time for that show, but we'll get into that later once we figure all that good stuff out. Okay, so I paid the bills. Now Storm can stop threatening me behind the scenes. All right, now let's go through the panel. Let's talk about what y'all been playing last week. Storm, I'll start with you. What have you been playing since the last episode of SSC Podcast?
Oh, man, so much across so many different services and platforms, man. I've been on, I jumped into Ubisoft Connect or Ubisoft Plus or whatever, right?
Yep.
I've been playing so many games, man. I installed like 15 games from that service right there, right? So then I jumped over to Geforce Now this morning to try Immortals Fenyx Rising, right?
Mm-hmm.
From there, I hopped over to Luna to see if they had Immortals Fenyx Rising. They don't have it on Luna yet, from what I saw. You know?
Oh,
so that was disappointing to me, man, because I thought MM2K, I thought you told me that it would be there. Hey,
that was MM2J. That was my long distance.
MM2J, the other dude. Yeah, the dude that okay. All right. So look, so then I hop over to Stadia and purchase the game on Stadia so I can compare and contrast. I already made a dope video playing the game at 4K. I'm gonna tell you right now, the 30 FPS does not look too shabby at all. So I've been playing a lot of that this morning. That's what I've been doing, and then I had to do some work, and then from that point, man. So everything I've been playing, everything you name it. Outcasters. I just played my first match of Outcasters. I linked up with a developer, didn't know it. Just jumped into a random match. The match filled up in seconds. I mean, less than 5 seconds. The match was on as soon as I hit the start button, right? Or the A button. So I get in the game, not knowing what I was really doing. I went through the tutorial, right? And then all of a sudden, I'm thrown in the room and it's chaotic right from the start. I was like, damn. So this developer was on my team. I sent a screenshot. I put that on Twitter, man. It was so much fun. We won my very first game. I'll never forget it. I got screenshots. Luckily, I did because I played with one of the developers of the game. And I had as many hits as the dev with 14 hits, 3 eliminations, and it was fire. I'm telling y'all right now, Outcasters, if you were skeptical of the game, buddy, this is a good one right here that should attract millions of people, in my opinion. If it doesn't happen, shame on the haters.
Yep, definitely. All right, that's what's up, man. Definitely. Even though you didn't catch the show, man, like I said, you'll I did a reaction even though it's late. So what I might do, Storm, is we might re-record that reaction, and I'll do it with you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because I want to see your reaction to all this. Because you might go ape nuts, man. I was having a blast. It was one point of the show that I was like, and I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. But it was definitely a great show. All right, next we will go to Clive. Clive, what have you been playing the last week or so?
Oh, Jedi Fallen.
Oh,
I've sort of described it to Rock. It's just the right. It's just the right side of frustrating for me. Mm-hmm. I like a game that's sort of, difficult but not too difficult. Just that kind of Goldilocks kind of element of difficulty to it. And I think it's about the right level for me, and I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm kind of really glad I got that. I mean, there's so much. I mean, just on Stadia alone, there's so much right now to play that I've sort of readjusted my mindset and not worry about. There was a time where you used to worry about. I felt like obliged to play every single pro game. I claim them all, but now it's like, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's so many. It doesn't matter because they don't expect you to play them all. That's the point. We're getting so much now. The expectation, whereas before scarcity kind of made us feel like, oh, I'll try everything. I mean, I dip in, but straight away it's like buying a house. I walk in straight away. I go, nah, not for me. you know straight away. And then the odd house, you go, ooh,
Yeah.
can I see upstairs, please? You know. So so that's why I kind of have a dip into the pro games, and straight away I either make up my mind fairly quickly. But yeah, Jedi Fallen's what's taken up most of my time this week.
That is a great game.
I'm saving up for Hitman 2 because obviously I'm still haven't finished doing Hitman 1, but I love the Hitman
me and you
game,
both.
so,
You ain't the only one, Clive. Yep.
Yeah.
Me and you both. Yep. Yeah. Jedi Fallen Order is a fantastic game. All right, Ray. We know you ain't played no games. You ain't doing, you ain't been doing nothing but harassing people online. I see you. No, what games have you been playing, my good friend?
I'm a nice guy. I don't harass nobody. That's young. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you, I'm loving me some Ghost Recon Wildlands on Stadia. It's just amazing. I played some co-op with some friends, having a blast. Also, just like Project Storm, I've also been playing on other platforms. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Origins on Luna. I think I've never played it, and it's just an amazing game about Egypt and just beautiful. The Nile River, the pyramids, the hieroglyphics. It's just beautiful. But I'm going to tell you the game that blew me away, and I played from 3 o'clock in the morning till 8:30 this morning, and that was Immortals Fenyx Rising. That game is simply amazing. It's beautiful. Wow. I'm playing that on Geforce on my Shadow PC, and I turned up everything on high because I wanted to see what it looked like. And, oh my God.
It's still smooth, buttery smooth.
It's not buttery like Project Storm's butter. But
that's a special kind of butter.
That's special kind of butter.
I put a little honey on it.
But I will, but you know, it is good to my eyes, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm loving it. I just finished the very first part. I don't want to do no spoilers, but there's a first part of the game, and then you actually go into the game. So I've already finished the first part, and I'm loving it.
Awesome. All right, I've been playing a lot of Division, as always. I did get access to Amazon Luna. We're going to talk about that later. I kind of gave my first impressions of it. We'll get into that a little bit later. But it's basically been the Division. What else did I play? No, that's been about it, man. Divisions, it's always calling me. I can't get away from that game. I love it.
Hey, all right, you got to do a little bit better though, man. Like, here's the problem that I have with you every show, right?
Here we go.
We get on here and we talk about the games that we're playing. I keep begging my brother. I said, brother, please, man, please play these games. We talked about PUBG last night on the commission. Shout out to Snow Bunny and Tron and Peach Mecca. You know what I'm saying? We were talking about PUBG, and that conversation went well, Clive and Ray. But I will say this right now. My brother has to step up and play more games, man, or else.
He's got to diversify.
Right, yeah, it's diversify. Or else, man. I mean, if I'm out here playing 30 games a week, man, at least can you play 6 games a week, man? If not, then Cold Blood Sensei will be on your case, man. I'm trying to keep him off your case, but I can't. It's hard.
I haven't found the fountain of youth like you have. All right, I'm still the old man that's looking for my girl in the morning, still wearing the same psychedelic shirt and the bell bottoms. Right? The suspender. You're not getting me to change my outfit, Storm. Stop it. No,
I hear you, man.
You know what? I don't know what it was. Well, I don't want to give any spoilers to our future subject in regards to Amazon, but that had a large part to play in it because I got this Fire TV Cube, and I was like, "Oh man, we're about to light it up, baby!" And things worked a little bit differently than I expected. So, but we'll get into all that good stuff. So that's my excuse. All right, no further ado. Let's get into the topics. Topic number 1 is ba-boom. See, I'm organized today, y'all. The December celebration. Storm, I'll go with you last to get you because for you to give your final impressions because impressions are key. You can give your impressions after everybody that's seen it give their thoughts. But I'll start with you again, Clive, on this one. What did you think overall of the experience, the hosts? Well, let's first biggest surprise. Let's start with that. What was your biggest surprise of all of the event?
I think the submerged.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Being pro today.
Yep.
Like big straight. So another pro game. So that's, would you count Outcast as what's that? Eight pro games. Like,
wow.
Hello.
Yes.
That's ridiculous. 8 pro games is pretty awesome in itself. So I wasn't obviously I was expecting Outcasters to drop and expected to be a pro game because it's Stadia Games and Entertainment. All Stadia Games and Entertainment are going to be pro games and be permanent pro games probably. That was a given. But Submerge was a surprise. And then Journey to Savage Planet was a bit of a surprise as well. I think they bought Typhoon Studios, or
yes,
after that was done, and the deals for that were in place. So it was probably a bit awkward. But then I was thinking about why why isn't it why haven't they done a port and got it onto Stadia? I think it was sort of done and dusted before the deal with Stadia. Stadia buying Typhoon Studios was done, and if they want to make it a pro title, then they probably had to have a window before they could do it.
Yeah,
because they'd already entered into commercial agreements with all the other companies, and it would be sort of slightly unfair, or not unfair necessarily. Who cares about being fair? But slightly against the contracts. That's probably why they waited so long. But the great thing, of course, is they're going to add with all the sort of the DLC elements, all the extra stuff that they've sort of dropped over the year. We're going to get it as part of the Stadia Pro package. So, and it's an indication as well that there's a rhyme and reason to Stadia acquiring these studios and bringing them in house in exactly the same way Xbox is doing it, so that you have those games exclusively available on your sort of Games Pass or your Stadia Pro for kind of effectively forever.
Yep.
And it kind of just adds a kind of a bit of an extra reason why you might want to get pro, apart from the fact that they give you nearly $2,000 worth of games in 1 year. Somebody worked out about nearly 1,600 quid worth of games or something crazy like that. It's just ridiculous.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But those were the surprises, I think, for me. Yeah.
So wait. Let me ask Clive. So Clive, you mentioned Journey to the Savage Planet. Now, when is that? Did they give a timetable?
No,
for that
so
game?
that's the classic next year.
If
you can't see their project, I'm doing the classic air quotes next year. So there's a Stadia next year. But yeah, it won't be long. It'll be in the spring probably.
Just wondering. I was about to say, because if that one was live, man, I might leave the show.
For a moment, for a moment, I thought, what that? Because I'd just come out of Google Store to check that Submerged was there, and then they announced this, so I went back into the store to check whether that was there, and then Austin said, "Oh no, it'll be out, next year." But it's still cool, As I say, there's probably a contractual reason they couldn't just make it available for pro straight away. Hate to be boring and practical about it, but that is probably the reality.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Eddie brings up a good point. Shout out to Eddie in the chat. He says, but it's a Stadia Employee of the Month edition, only available on Stadia.
Yes.
Now, the funny thing about that is, who thinks that that's a sidearm dig at Alex Hutchinson?
Of course that is. That's the first thing. That's the first thing I thought when I heard about it.
Maybe they should, like, as the starter, they have like last month's Employee of the Month.
Yeah,
and it's a picture of him.
That would be hilarious. That's it's also Stadia Pro. Absolutely. Yep. I wanted to just add to Clive's point, and then we'll go on to you, Ray. I wanted to add to Clive's point that there is a rhyme and reason why they're scooping up these second party, collaborative deals with these studios, because it was the secret sauce to Xbox getting into this game. Xbox was brand new. They didn't have any established relationships prior to that. So they had to go to the people that they knew that they knew how to make games first and lean on them. The only problem with Xbox is they continue to lean on them and never built their first party. We know Stadia is not doing that. They're opening, they got Jade Raymond and people that are in the is it Shannon Studd still?
Yep. She recently came. Yeah, she was on the Santa Monica, I think.
Yeah, from Santa Monica. They brought her over in the other development wing out west. They're building their first party, and they're using the winning Xbox formula that was so successful for the 360. And this is what I said I was hoping that they were doing, so it's great to see them do that. Ray, what was the biggest surprise to you from this whole event?
Watching your mates instantly in a game playing.
Okay.
So just so you know, I had both my homies 6'4" and Eddie, and I watched both. I had one computer over here and I had another computer over here, and I was watching them both, and I saw them in the game. I was like, oh my god, there's Eddie, there's Duncan, there's 6'4", and that's how you do a show. Austin Creed. You get all these boring people that you can tell they're not really gamers, and they're just blowing smoke up your ass. Mm-hmm. You get somebody who's a gamer. Austin Creed not only is he a wrestler, but he's a gamer. He's a gamer, and you can tell he knows his shit. And sorry, he knows his stuff. And man, I'm gonna tell you, that's how you do a show. I was excited from the beginning to the end. They finally showed crowd choice, crowd play, live people.
Man,
and you don't see PlayStation. You don't see nobody never done nothing like they've done today with that many people jumping in. I'm just amazed. I'm watching Eddie and I'm watching him. Oh, I'm in the game, and watching them play and playing Outcasters and people lined up to play. That's how you do a show. That's how the media, that's how you market. And Clive said earlier before we was on the show, you need to do this all the time. You need to have a show and do this and show how it's called a hangout. They should do a show called Stadia Hangout and show the power of Stadia. This is what all the content creators, all the people who believed in this platform, this is what we've been waiting for. This is what we've been talking about. And to see it live and to see Austin Creed. I mean, he was playing Dead by Daylight with Katie Wilson, and it looked freaking amazing with her chasing everybody around and everybody having a good time. Just instantly to have that many people playing. And then just so you know, I'm also excited that Clive didn't mention, but we got Valkyrie 4 Chronicles.
Woo! Oh yes, of course.
Dropping Sega dropping December 8th, and I said, God, $50. Cyberpunk. My wife, I got to hide the credit card bills.
Hey, look, sometimes you just got to take it in the jaw, man. Just be like your boy MM2K and just wop wop.
I mean, we got El Hio.
Yeah.
That drop. Submerge, The Fogs, Outcasts, Submerge, Hidden Death, all these, and we got Cyberpunk coming next week. So what this does is just it's our library is expanding and getting larger, because they used to always talk about we didn't have any games. We got games.
Oh, we got games.
We got features. And I guarantee you, all those people that was doing the clickbait and all those haters, what are you gonna say?
Yeah.
What can you say now?
Yep.
What?
A wise person once told me, decisions have consequences. All those people that decided to do this clickbait stuff just for the first 9, 10, maybe 11 months when you could get away with that, that's going to stick with you forever. The internet never goes away. Before we go to, because I want to get Storm's impressions on all this before we go to the next question. But before we do that, Clive, you have
Yeah.
deep roots in Japanese development and signing contracts and stuff like that. And a lot of people may not be aware of that. Nonetheless, how big of it is this Sega deal with Stadia,
Yes.
and the fact that Valkyrie Chronicles 4 is coming to the platform? How big is that?
Well, so as soon as I saw that, those sort of games have a real appeal to the sort of, real gamers who've grown up on that and have a fascination with the Japanese games and stuff like that, which is, if we look at the demographic that Stadia seems to be going for, which I could talk at length about in terms of the presenters that they've chosen for this. If you look at them, they're not picking 20-somethings who want to play FIFA.
Yep.
It's not the PlayStation audience.
Yep.
It's a different audience. The audience who kind of love all those sort of Japanese games and indie classics that you get on, on the Switch and Nintendo and stuff like that, grown up on the Sega and Nintendo and things like that, but also enjoy all the current latest AAA games that you get on the kind of, everyday consoles as well. So people like Austin absolutely personify that, and in terms of the age group demographic and everything, those sort of, we talked about it before, those sort of lapsed gamers and stuff like that, and all those kind of elements. But I must admit, when they showed the Valkyrie Chronicles game, I did think, hello, is this an eye at the Asia Pacific market? Is this an eye at Korea and Japan? Because you cannot be a US firm and walk into, say, Japan. I mean, ask Microsoft about this, and not go in there armed with stuff that will appeal directly to their cultural expectation is.
Exactly.
If you go in there telling them this is how these are the games you need to like, and they're like Western, they're not interested. But if you introduce them to games which are familiar and popular, in Japan, in Korea and stuff like that, it gives the platform credibility in that territory. So they are putting in, yes, these are, games that appeal to the kind of hardcore gamers who kind of have a fascination with all the brilliant sort of Sega games and that kind of history of Sega and stuff. But they're also putting in the building blocks for when they open up in more international markets. That's how I kind of, that's the thing that sort of I immediately thought of when I saw that trailer.
Absolutely. Great point. Like you said, Clive, you can't just go into that region and start slinging burgers and fries at people and say, eat this and eat this only. It's not gonna fly, definitely. You got to be cognizant of the material that you're putting down there. And something that's like familiar is a great way to do that. And I know Microsoft had a hard time because they tried with was that Studio Takimi or 99 Nights. Clive, what studio was it? I don't know if you remember.
I can't remember.
Yeah, but they tried with them and it didn't.
Well, you just have to look at the sales figures, like the proportion of sales of Xbox versus PlayStation. I mean, of course, it is the home of PlayStation in Japan. Of course, it is, but the difference in sales figures between the two is just massive.
Yep.
So you have that massive cultural barrier that you need to sort of break through, and therefore to do that you need those games which appeal, have a broad appeal across both cultures.
Absolutely. Storm, even though you're still trying to catch up, I got it, my friend. What are your thoughts on all this? These big surprises that were released by Clive and Ray.
Well, listening to Ray's reaction and watching him, you know what I'm saying? Ray doesn't get passionate for nothing, you know what I mean? For no reason. It has to be something extraordinary to get him like that. So whenever Ray feels like that, I feel it bouncing off and radiating off of him, right? So then Clive, I hear break things down, and I'm seeing now, the beautiful thing about what we do here on SSC is when new games drop on Stadia, Projekt Storm goes into the store on my Chrome browser, and I check out games because I have never checked out Submerged, right? So I played like 10, 15 minutes of the game as you all were talking, right?
Yep.
The game is beautiful. It's running beautiful. The voice acting, the physics of the boat on the, like everything, the water, and beautiful game. So I'm excited about what's coming to this platform. And I'm hearing you all talking about a Sega, like any kind of deal and happenings with Sega. I know that was rumored to be the case a minute ago. Some people in the community was thinking like, what if they did something with Sega, right?
Mm-hmm.
So things like this is nothing. I'm not surprised by them because I always say they're going to, I've said it countless times. You all have probably heard me say it or seen me tweet it out or something. They're going to go out with a bang this year. This is not it. I think they still have a couple surprises left.
Still stuff, plenty to
right.
come.
And Clive have said numerous times today and before today that there's so many games, man. We've been talking about it. We all have been saying, people in the chat have been saying the back catalog is already crazy. Like, who would have thought that a platform that has no games, so to speak, or allegedly, right? All of a sudden we have too many damn games to play.
Yeah.
And these are not just your grandpa's games, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like some of these games are blockbusters and some of them are like hidden gems when it comes to the indie titles like Submerged and others. I can't wait to dig more in Submerged, but I can't wait to get back on Outcasters and prove my dominance, man. Hey, seriously though, the game. All right, I hope you call it out, man. And a shout out to anyone from Outcasters if you happen to stop by and listen to this. You know what I'm saying? Because MM2K is a brother that he doesn't have anything against the game. We've been talking about the game a whole lot, but I want to see you on it, MM2K. I really do, man. I hate to put you on the spot like this more and more frequently, but I have to do it to make sure that you're on this game. Ice cream. There was nothing like ice cream, bro. Running around like I'm blown away, man. I'm blown away. My mind is blown. I'm happy. I've tried other services, other platforms. They don't add up. We'll get into that later. All right. So make sure y'all get some food and come right back because you don't want to miss when we jump into that discussion later. So, I'm happy, Clive, Ray. This is the land of electric air, man. I always refer back to that. I don't hear you all, keep that alive, but I try to keep the land of electric air alive because that's what courses through our veins, man. This Stadia is a platform that's doing major things, y'all. And I'm not lying. I'm not capping. It's attracting so many people. Stadia is in high gear. I've always had confidence in them. So have you all. They are giving us what we need. They are providing something that now we know the competition can't. Oh, man, my God. Let's move on because I'm about to lose it, man.
Just to say that Submerge is another title from the Stadia Games.
Beautiful uppercut games. Beautiful, beautiful title.
Until the End is dropping 2 next week.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow. Yeah, that is right. Oh man.
I mean, like, come on, like seriously. How can you sit here if you were a Stadia skeptic or a flat out hater, as we call you? How can you not give them credit? And I don't understand. Like, look, we're past all that. We're looking toward 2021 now, guys. Like this right here. My eyes are open. I'm in. I've already told Google take my money. You know what I'm saying? I might look at how I could donate extra money, man, to these studios or whatever, because it's crazy.
It's like what you said before, Storm, about having too many games to play now. I mean, we're at a point now to where the platform has matured so much, so swiftly. And it's just on an upward trend. You cannot give it kudos for that. Even if cloud gaming isn't your quote unquote thing, you got to give it kudos for that. I'm sorry, Clive, were you gonna
yeah. So the old sort of meme that people say, well, don't like Stadia. Why would why would I have to buy all my old games again? Well, I was thinking about this today, thinking you wouldn't be buying old games. We're in a situation you're not buying old games now because they're sort of effectively all new games.
Right.
So you wouldn't, that argument no longer holds water.
Yep.
Like if you thought it was which a lot of people did, if you thought it was just a service, like to access your games catalog from back in the day, and that was it, like some other services, which are fine if that's what you want to do. It's not that. And so that kind of notion that one would have to buy all my old games again, which was a ridiculous notion anyway, because you would have to do that if you suddenly went from PlayStation to Xbox or something. But so it was always a ridiculous notion, but it's even more ridiculous now because we sort of got beyond the point where they're sort of filling up the catalog with games that people expect to see and curating interesting indie titles that may have already existed over the last couple of years and stuff like that, to the point where the majority of new games that come to Stadia, not necessarily to Stadia Pro, but the new games that come to Stadia are new games. So if you've decided that's your platform, well, you're not buying that game again. You get to play it there. And if you have something like Ubisoft Plus, well, then you can play it on on a number of platforms. So it doesn't have to be Stadia, so as well. So I was just thinking about it today that, we are in that situation now with Stadia, and we're just at the beginning of the new sort of situation, but we're at the beginning where, as I said, we're getting new games. So that old adage that, why would I have to play all my old games again? It's like, well, don't just buy new games.
Hey, let me ask you this, Clive. Xbox Series X, this is not a shot. This is it's a fact now. I mean, attack me if you must, but it's a fact. Xbox Series X launched as supposedly the world's most powerful console, right? What are they asking their users to play, Clive? Newer games, exclusive games, or older games?
No, exactly. It's stuff on the old Games Pass, which is fine. But yeah, you'd think that's what people have a perception that the PlayStation, the games are much better on, therefore, ergo, PlayStation 5 is better than the Xbox X. Well, that's only because PlayStation 5 made sure that they came out with two games that really at least demonstrated what all the fuss was about.
Right. Kudos.
What Xbox have done, they got the most powerful. It's like, I've got the most powerful car in the world, I have, but it's just in the garage. You'll see me polishing it.
Wait till next year.
You'll see me cleaning it.
But
I don't drive
shiny.
it about.
It
looks great, but I don't drive it around. Meanwhile, on a slightly less powerful car, but just as sexy, Jim Bob's riding around town, having fun.
And I have one ordered, Clive. I have mine pending right now. The order is pending. I'm waiting on them to ship that thing out this month. So, it's not like I'm attacking these consoles. Look, man, but people have to keep. You got to keep it real.
You got to keep it real.
Got to keep it real.
A more ridiculous comparison I actually heard, and I'm not going to name any names. This is somebody that I deal with on the general gaming side. But I heard them say, you know what? I had Stadia, and I semi liked it, but now I'm not for Stadia anymore because I got to play. Because I got to rely on my old games. If the biggest thing that I'm going to rely on with Stadia is playing my old games on the go, then I'm done with it. And they pretty much simulated like they abandoned Stadia.
Amen. What did the wise man say? The wise man once said, and again, that's somebody in our community that once said, the game is not old. Sorry, somebody calling me excited about Stadia. The game is not old if you've never played it. If it's your first time experiencing the game,
I've waited. Jedi Fallen, like it's been out for nearly over a year. First time I played it, I wanted to play it when it came out, but I just never got around to it. So I'm loving it. It's a new experience for me.
I had Ghost Recon Wildlands. I beat it on Xbox. I'm playing it again on Stadia because I didn't experience the graphics. I didn't experience the tech. I didn't experience all that. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't see this. And I'm seeing it now.
Exactly that on the Tomb Raider games for me. Like I played them all through, but it was such and normally I don't like going back to games I played through because sometimes the final boss level is so difficult. I never ever want to do that again. But with the Tomb Raider games, early doors with Stadia, I absolutely love playing them through because I'd only ever played them on the Xbox One, and the difference was just massive. Just how it felt and looked and played.
Well, the crazy thing about it, panel, is that same person that said that about Stadia a few weeks ago said, you know what? I'm so happy that BioShock is on the Nintendo Switch. Now I get to play BioShock on the go, and I'm like,
Right,
what?
right.
Like, what Twilight Zone episode is this? So again, it's like to what Clive said. The whole moniker of you're dealing with the old games is just an excuse, is just a talking point to try to bring up something negative against the platform. But as time goes on, it's less and less fathomable. But no, great stuff. All right. Before we go to our overall thoughts, I wanted to ask, we'll start with Ray, then we'll go back to Clive, and then we'll get Storm to chime in and give his thoughts on what he's hearing. Anything missing from the show, guys, that you expected to see, you would have liked to see? I'll start with Ray first.
They talked about Ubisoft Connect.
Yeah.
I mean, they talked about Immortals Fenyx Rising, and I was like, all right, and what about Connect? Come on. I was sitting there, and I was putting Ubisoft Plus, Ubisoft Connect. That is the one thing that I'm like, when are you guys gonna say something?
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. You know it's coming.
I know, but guess what, people? We want it now. We want it now.
Yeah.
I want it. I mean, come on. You mean to tell me all you people don't want to experience Immortal? A lot of people did not get Immortals Fenyx Rising because you know why?
I'm waiting.
Because they're waiting. So and so, you know, I got me and my best friend were playing it on PC. You know, but it's not like Stadia. I want Stadia, and there's nothing wrong with that, to want something, and there's nothing wrong to wait, but some people can't wait, man. I gotta play it, you know. So but just because I have it on one platform does not mean I'm not going to get it on the other platform. But I really wanted to hear about Connect. But overall, I am so happy. I'm so proud. Austin Creed, you know how big WWE is? His wrestling group, the New Day, is huge. He's a huge wrestling. So I know a lot of people were watching him. And I watch his streams and stuff, and I see how many people are watching him. That's huge, folks. That's huge for Stadia.
Yep. Clive, what was the thing that you thought was missing? Was it the same as Ray, or was it something else?
Yeah, overall, I think it would have been. You know, we keep saying, "Oh, they'll announce it." You know, Ubisoft Plus or Watch Dogs Legions. All right. Okay. Oh, they'll announce Ubisoft Plus on the release of Valhalla. Oh, all right. No, they're probably going to save it for Immortals Fenyx. Oh, never mind. But that time, you know, to quote one of the characters that I did on my Stadia Monday night chat, TikTok, you know, where the fudge is it?
Right.
You know, hey, it's cool, man. It's this year, and as I've said before, that means before Christmas, which basically means within the next 2 weeks. So
Absolutely.
chill, people, it's coming, and that just means that's not it. So what we've just seen is not the end of stuff that's happening on Stadia between now and the end of the year, and this is which makes it even more kind of impressive what's sort of happened the last sort of 3 weeks, 4 weeks or so. We've just had it's just like full on. It's almost like they sort of like I did a Stadia Monday night chat a few weeks ago where I said ready to launch, and that's what I feel like where we've been at the last few weeks, is that basically everything's in place, so that, you know, a lot of people say they should have been marketing like this before and all that kind of stuff, and yes, to a certain degree they should have, but I think they would have been marketing a product that was not complete, and therefore opened up the possibility of disappointment. If you applied the level of marketing that applied now to the product 6 months ago, I think it would have led to just a continuation of the myths and misinformation around, oh, it's not very good, or it's not enough games, and all that kind of stuff. Whereas now they've got a product which is in, as I've always said, is now in a great place to market. So
Yes.
it's not just a case of the marketing's turned up. Well, about time that they've turned it up. They've turned it up because it's right to turn it up right now, because it's Google know they've got the goods to sell now, and market. And then, I mean, don't go too much into your overall thoughts unless you want me to segue straight into that. But it's show and tell. That's what I loved about today. Show and tell.
Yep.
Don't talk about it. Show it. That's what I loved.
You can't sell the juiciest medium rare steak before it hits the pan, right?
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. We knew it wasn't going to be too long about the steak. What steakhouse did it come from, brother?
Yeah,
Ruth Chris, of course.
Ruth Chris.
Yeah.
There it is.
So, and I think, and Clive, you hit the nail right on the head. I mean, we can't say, oh, Stadia is so great and it's fantastic, and look at all this stuff you could do. Well, what can you do? You could play Metro. You can't do all this robust, and not to say that the platform was bad, but it wasn't at an apex to where, like you said, the marketing could match the product. But now it is, and now you're seeing the marketing turn up. I want to throw this out here too. I know I'm going to be called a Stadia shill for this and all that other stuff, but I want to throw this at you guys, including Storm, because I kind of brought this up last night. And Storm was like, that's interesting, but I want to see what everybody collectively thinks about this. Now, I mentioned to Storm last night, if you remember. I said, I'm agitated about the announcement of Ubisoft Plus. And I said, I got to give Amazon Luna credit, because you heard Stadia talk about Ubisoft Plus and Uplay Plus at the time. It was all Uplay Stadia, right? But then Amazon comes out with it first. And I said, I'm kind of agitated. I said, but then I had to pull myself back and think about it. And see, Amazon can come out and have a defined date first for Ubisoft Plus, because they don't do a la carte sales. So they could care. They don't make any money off of any a la carte sales. Just like as soon as you got the game ready or got the service ready, let's put it out here. But Stadia does make money off the a la carte sales, and I fathom that that's important to them. So if Stadia were to say, you know what, if they were to say 2 months ago, you know what, Ubisoft Plus is coming December 20th. Guess what's going to happen? Nobody's buying any, or the portion of people that are buying Ubisoft games drastically drops. You know what I'm saying? Because now they got a date of when it's going to come. So I kind of thinking about it, I have a little bit more patience about what they're doing, and I get why they're trying to do it. What do you guys think about it? Do you think that kind of gives them an excuse, or I'm just going too deep with this?
I think the thing with Stadia, and it will sound a bit ironic what I'm saying, but they don't like they release things when they think it's ready. Now, you could say, well, Stadia was hardly in a state to be released in November 2019, but in their minds, for what they wanted to achieve over the first 12 months, it probably was in the state they felt it needed to be to demonstrate that this tech works. Give a few games, give people, the founders and other people, a chance to experience it, get the data, as you've said loads of times, MM2K, get the data, build on it. And they've even said that, that they fed back on that data, and sort of the feedback loop's gone on over the whole year between the data they've received. They've made improvements. I think Jack Bowser was saying it. And there's been this feedback loop that's been taking place over the whole kind of year, and on the marketing side and stuff like that. So I think, they probably, I think it's a bit of what you say about Ubisoft Plus. They've told us it's coming this year. So if you buy an Ubisoft game now, you can't really complain in 2 weeks' time when Ubisoft Plus comes out, say, and go, oh, I didn't know that. It's like, well, you did know that, but that's fine. You make, people want, if you want to play the game first, then fine. You buy it, but you're buying it, caveat emptor, buyer beware, that Ubisoft Plus is coming out, but I don't think they necessarily want to release Ubisoft Plus until it's in a state that they're happy to release it in, which means I think a finite amount, a minimum amount of games on it, so that it's sort of good to go, and then more games get added. And I think they just want to sort of a combination of what you said in terms of the marketing, not undercutting the sales, and making sure they have enough games that they feel that it is worthwhile your however much, 12 quid investment or whatever much it is to make. And equally, of course, Ubisoft Plus is cross-platform. So, you know, some people have got it already. So they just want to be able to play the games on Stadia.
Cool. Ray, what are your thoughts on that? You think that's a good enough excuse for I need to go back to the whiteboard with that one?
No, I think Clive made a really, really good statement. And then, I mean, I can easily say, you know, Luna don't have this, Luna don't have this. Luna, look, you know, Amazon's like, damn it, they got 4K, they got multiplayer, they got the crowd, they got this. What can we do to get out before they do? Let's do. Let Ubisoft, they can't get that out. Let's get that out.
Yeah.
Right? Damn it, we can't even get. Damn it, they got controllers. We got to put batteries in our controllers. Damn. But anyway, you know, kudos to Luna because they got Ubisoft Plus.
Yeah. But
look at everything that Stadia has gotten out, and look what Stadia is like light years ahead. That's why I'm you know, I love Stadia. I would love to have, you know, my friends and all of us playing, but all of us are not. Because people are waiting, and that's the only thing, the only issue I have. But no, man, Stadia. Look, right now they can't do no wrong. They've proven they don't got to prove nothing to nobody. They shut everybody up. We got Cyberpunk coming. We got all the crowd play. We got the crowd choice. The tech works. They did the smartest marketing thing ever. Free.
Yeah.
Okay. They can't. They've shut up everybody. All right, and they've done everything. They did everything right.
Yep, smart. Storm, what are your thoughts on that? You think that's you think that's a good enough excuse for Ubisoft Plus to still be, you know, unconfirmed as far as a date, or what are your thoughts on that?
I think just like with the rest of the year that we've learned, that is going to happen when it's time to happen. You know what I'm saying? My grandma used to say all that, you know, she used to put the religious spin on it, but hey, things happen when they're supposed to happen. Right. Yeah. So, but before I get into my thoughts on what you all said about, you know, I want to recap what you all talked about earlier when I know Ray was mentioning that like Immortals Fenyx Rising is not here yet and stuff like that. Right. But I want to get into that briefly before we switch tracks. But before I do that, though, shout out to this chat, man. Some great things going down out here, y'all. I've been reading it, keeping, you know, just it's hard to keep tabs on what you all are saying, but it's so much factual stuff out there, man. But shout out to Wilson, man, Shadow, Steve Ashton, Squid, Jamie Reed, Man Ethers, you know what I mean? Just El Boogie, man. Just everybody, man. Everybody that's out here, keep doing what y'all do. KD, man. Like Christopher Torres, everybody engaging in this real conversation. Man Ether came in and said, and that's my homie, y'all, came in and said, greetings to all the real gamers. Now, this is a brother right here who's on console, PC, just ordered a brand spanking new PC that's coming with a 6800 XT. And he's in here welcoming, greeting the real gamers, you know what I'm saying? Which he understands are the cloud gamers. Look, let me back up and switch tracks real quick, though. Ray said something along the lines of that he was waiting for, he couldn't wait for the game for Immortals Fenyx Rising. I get what you're saying, Ray. I really do. I told you, like, I was over there looking, I was like, it must be some kind of mistake that the game is not on Luna yet. Like, it has to be. I want to stream this right now.
They advertised it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it not on the Ubisoft part of Luna?
It is definitely on Ubisoft Plus because I tried it this morning on PC. I played it on 3 or 4 different platforms, including Stadia. So Geforce, all right. So I started out playing it on my native PC. Runs beautifully. Love it. I then switched over to Geforce Now. Like, wait a minute, let me try it. Let me see if Geforce Now, if I can play the game over there. Played it on Geforce Now, just linked my Ubisoft Connect account and all that stuff. Loved it, right? And then I said, look, I have to buy it on Stadia. Bought it on Stadia for $60. I know you all talked about waiting for Uplay Plus, and I mean Ubisoft Plus, and it's coming and all that. We know it's coming. But I had to go ahead and do it. So I said, Clive is not going to have it. Ray is not going to have it. Somebody has to make this content. I got to do it, man. So I went ahead and bought it. And I love it. I love it as 4K 30 in the 4K mode. And it's 1080p 60. What I'm hearing, I haven't tried that. But the 4K 30 is just something that's a little bit more polished about it than the demo was. I don't know. It's beautiful. I have footage coming soon on the game. Oh man, it's crazy. But going back to the Uplay on the Ubisoft Plus, and I will get the names mixed up because it's confusing. But Ubisoft Connect or Ubisoft Plus or both, because Connect is what bridges all the platforms together, right?
Yeah,
man, I love Ubisoft Connect because I'm able to jump around multiple platforms, y'all, like some of the ones I just mentioned, and I can pick up my progress where I left off.
Yep.
So I'm telling you what I have coming up right now. And this is why I bought the game on Stadia. I'm going to be bouncing and switching tracks, Ray and Clive and MM. I'm going to be bouncing. I'm going to start the game on PC, and then I'm going to pick up my progress on Geforce Now, right? And then I'm going to end it with a nice Stadia stream at 4K or whatever the case. Oh man, can't you just see that happening?
What a tart.
Well, brother, can I tell you something?
You could tell me, man.
All right. Some people got 50, 60, 50, 50, 60, 50. Some people don't. Some people got a what? Look,
I know you got 50, 60. You got 75. It's a big 75-inch TV in your living room right now. So I don't want to hear that coming from you. I know what you got.
Look. I knew they was going to drop something today, so I needed to know what. Because honestly, I'm looking at the Japanese Valkyrie 4 Chronicles. That's $50. Plus, the next day is Cyberpunk. That's another cha-ching. And then I want that what is it? Until the End. I want that. And then so I'm looking like, I'm looking at like God. And Ubisoft Connect is it's a no-brainer because you're right.
And it's coming. Guess what?
I can connect it. If you look on Luna, it says on the side, coming to Stadia. So once it does come, I can easily jump into Stadia because it's going to ask you to connect your account. So I can wait and play it on PC and play it on Luna. And when it comes out to Stadia, I can easily connect it and jump in and play.
And it's going to come at the right time to make the biggest splash. That's after this event right here and all the greatness that came with this and before the event, right? And it's going to come after Cyberpunk's release date, right? It would be great after the fanfare of Cyberpunk dies down a little bit to then come out with another banger like Uplay Plus, where people might be ready to throw their subscription fee down on that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I know we're excited for it. I like Ubisoft enough and Stadia enough to go ahead and support the platform and developers or publisher, whatever the case is. So I threw that 60 out there. I like the game. I had already tried it. Thanks to Stadia, I was able to try the demo. That made it easier for me to throw that 60 out there.
And then in all fairness, I did pick up New Dawn. I picked up Far Cry 5. I picked up Ghost Recon, and I said I told one guy, man, I'm gonna wait, and I couldn't, and I did it. So, and who knows, man, I might, if I watch one of your streams and I see it's buttery smooth and 4K and teraflops and all, I might just buy it, man. I just might buy it. That's why I can't look at your stream, because I know I might just hit
it's too alluring.
But I gotta keep it, bro, because I'm going to drop 50 plus what 60. I'm going to be getting some games next week, dude. And
you're gonna drop more than that.
It's gonna be more. I think they're doing just straight stealth.
Yeah,
I think they're doing that all through the end of the week.
It's like an advent calendar.
Yeah.
Open the Stadia door, and there'll be another little game in there.
Yeah,
and that's how you do it, though. That's how you do it. You close out the year giving people these games like a smorgasbord of games, like games. You want games, right? We told you we were tracking this number of games. Well, what if we go over that a little bit? You know what I mean? It's just saying, look. So what else was missing? EA Play. I will say that we've gotten our first EA game on the platform. It runs beautifully. It looks beautiful. Whether it's upscale from 1080p to 4K, don't matter. It still plays great. Looks great. And it's an EA title, and it's a big one. You know what I mean? It's more the recent one. If you look at the past year, right? So that right there opens the door for EA Play. EA Play is on Steam. EA Play is on the consoles. You know, they said that they're trying to branch out. When is that going to happen? And so I'm kind of like missing that announcement. But hey, at the same time, it's not a big deal because we have games. So we can move on, if you want to. Yeah,
so I think that even though that, we had questions about Ubisoft Plus, and that was a good point that you brought up, Storm, about EA Play. I think you couldn't ask for a better trajectory. You couldn't ask for a better showcase in a lot of ways today. Those are my personal feelings about what we got overall. Just wanted to check out the highs and lows. So now we're going to cap this section off with, what were your overall thoughts on this? We'll start with Clive. Clive, what did you think about this show overall?
So anybody who follows me in the founders forum or anything like this, I've said this a number of times to Stadia, to Grace and Chris, that they need to do a show like that. This is before they did it. I said, you need to do a show with streamers showing off the games, talking about the games, showing off the features and stuff, because, and I mentioned it to you guys, there's Xbox One where they stream games and they talk about, the new things coming up on Xbox and stuff like that. And then on back in the day on Mixer, Xbox had its own channel where they were virtually streaming games, 12 hours a day, and there'd be effectively an Xbox employee who'd be basically paid to stream games, and it was usually the latest games on Games Pass or something like that, or new games that are being released. And I just thought, Stadia needs that. It needs its sort of gaming channel or a little show. It needs a gaming show like that. And as I said earlier, it's about show and tell. I mean, they sort of say, and soon we'll be having crowd play will be coming, and soon crowd choice will be coming. No. We've got it now. So you go, let's drop some trailers. Let's play some games. Let's demonstrate crowd choice. Let's demonstrate crowd play, like live. Anybody new here will go, what? Hey, how long will it take me to download the game? What? How much will the game cost? What? It's free. What? But don't have to sign up pro? No. Like for, Super Bomberman or whatever. It's like, no, click the button. It's like, wow. And that's also one of, what they're showing off there is, why might you be interested in Stadia? Apart from, click to play, no downloads, play on the screens you want, play on the screens you've already got, use your existing controllers. Yeah. That's not interesting me. So what's a unique selling point? Right now, the unique selling point is that interaction between Stadia and YouTube, that tool for streamers and people who watch streams to kind of interact in a way, as Austin said, no, like, oh, can I play? We've all streaming now, but it was streamed before, and we've had people in the chat go, can I play? Can I play? And it's like, well, I don't know. Do I really want I don't know who you are. Do I want do I want you on my friends list or anything like that? That kind of stuff like that. Whereas if you want your stream, your chat to play with you, you just set it up and put the little button in there, and boom, it does it all for you behind the scenes. It's seamless, brilliant. But it's no good talking about it. Show it. Yeah. And so I think it was for me. I thought it was the perfect format. I hope it's a regular format. I think it is the right format for Stadia, because it kills two birds with one stone. It shows off the games. It also shows off that relationship between Stadia and YouTube. So it's just, it's greater than the sum of its parts in terms of what it does. I thought Austin was amazing on it.
Yes.
Now, I had to look him up because I knew he was a wrestler, but I wasn't sure. But then when I saw, he's the guy from Up, Down, Down. And I first came across him when we featured it on the Generation X Gaming Club. There was this guy in Australia who's been collecting games, and he's basically rebuilt his house to hold. It's like a gaming museum, but it's not just games. It's all the original consoles.
Oh wow!
All the original arcade machines.
Jeez,
like consoles that were never released. So like weird partnerships between sort of Sony and Sega that never happened, but there were two sort of sample models of a machine built or something, and he's got one of them.
Wow.
Anyway, so as part of, so I came across this video, and it's like blows your mind. Like this guy has everything: magazines, games, console games, all the console platforms that weren't, as I say, never got released. Arcade. He's got a whole room which is an arcade. and he's recreated it like a 1980s arcade because that's what he remembers as a kid, and he's built it up over years. Anyway, up, down, down. So Creed and his mates went out, Austin and his mates went out to Australia to see this guy's sort of house stroke museum. And that's where I remember him from. And so he's absolutely the perfect.
Yes.
To me, I just thought he's the perfect demographic.
Yes.
He has a genuine passion for games. Yeah. He's slightly, he's not, as I said, he's not a 20-something
exactly
PlayStation guy. He's that slightly, so a passion for games, an understanding and knowledge of the history of games, an appreciation of the old games, and a love of the new games. And I just thought, this is, as we've seen it before, even to a certain degree, when you look at, the demographic like Lamar Wilson, his sort of age level and that kind of stuff. But I think, and then you add in that he's Austin Creed is a real entertainer.
Right.
And that came across. So you could tell, like, sometimes when he's sort of reading off scripts a bit to a certain degree, to make sure he gets, he's ticking off all the bits he needs to say. But the real passion, the real gamer comes out when he's playing the game and he's going, oh my God, my heart rate after Outcasters, whatever like that. And you can't fake that. That's genuine. That's authentic. He is. I think he should be almost like the face of Stadia. You know what I mean? Like if they should sign him up to do that, to drop the news, every month or whatever, to have a little show like that, because in a way it wasn't like a mini Connect. It was, we're doing some live stream. Come and join us, and we'll be dropping some trailers.
Exactly.
And what happened?
Yep.
They played some games and they dropped some trailers. So there was excitement, but there wasn't the ridiculous hype train that we always get. And therefore, I just felt it was perfectly pitched. I thought it was a great show, and I really hope it's a format that they use going forward, because it demonstrates, A, you can demo the games, but B, you can instantly demo. You not only get people to play those games straight away by clicking on click to play or whatever, but you demonstrate that interaction between the games, and so between Stadia and YouTube. So win-win. Loved it.
Ray, what were your thoughts on the overall presentation?
Well, first of all, when Austin Creed grabbed that controller, hit that controller, and he hugged that controller, that pretty much, like, thank you, brother. We needed that.
Yeah, we did.
Just so you know, Stadia is about to throw. At the end of the show, they showed all these content creators.
I was just getting ready to say you stole it. Good job.
I know. I was waiting. I was waiting.
Good job. I was going to cap it off with that. Good job.
Waiting for Clive, but
good job.
They're getting ready to throw a bunch of content creators, and if you look at it, I'm like, man, it's like men, women. One guy looked like a pimp in a purple suit. I mean, all these different characters playing.
You're talking about
Stadia games.
Vegeta 777.
Yeah. I was extremely happy with the show, because I'm keeping it real. I'm excited about Cyberpunk, but to hear about all these games that are coming. And I'm not going to play Cyberpunk 24 hours. I'm going to take a break, and get a little something from the side, play. It was great. It was great to show the features. It was great to instantly have a live show, not no video, not some 5-minute.
Yeah.
Okay, bye guys.
That was a perfect Lamar Wilson, man.
It was Lamar. It's Lamar Wilson.
Hey, Lamar was doing what he did. Be happy that we had Lamar on this platform. Shout out. Lamar can do what he wants to do.
Love Lamar. Love Lamar Wilson. I'm mad that we didn't get enough of the brother. Okay.
Right.
All right. It went too quick. This one was interacting with the crowd and showing crowd choice and showing crowd play.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing watching your friend do content creator in the game, playing with him. It goes done, and you see all these names running around on the screen. Duncan, I think, took out Eddie, or Jim Stadia took out somebody. I thought that was simply brilliant, simply amazing. And like I said, I'm extremely happy with the platform. I'm happy where it's at. Right now, they can't do no wrong. They've proved that they're a platform to be reckoned with, and that the future looks great. So I'm happy.
Yeah. So what I'll say to that is, if you think back, we had these conversations all throughout this great year of Stadia, right? All types of stuff like community conversations and all of this goodness, man, that we have here in Stadia land, right? And one of the things MM2K can tell you, man, one of the things I do when I feel like something needs to be said or done with Stadia, I might throw a DM and then let it sizzle, let it age and everything, like fine wine or whatever. Now, I remember sending something to MM like, look, man, what would be nice? It was something along the lines of, it'd be nice. Like, I got a feeling that Grace and Chris or somebody from Google is going to be doing these live streams. Like, they're going to be starting to do more live streams, right? Or whatever. That would be a great way to connect. Remember, MM, you remember that tweet that I dropped you when I was talking about when I thought that it would be Grace and Chris, for example.
Yeah, that the live streams were coming.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I had this idea, and now I'm seeing that these and I kept telling people like, look, man, let's not be upset if they go out and get these other creators, right? These other YouTube streamers and stuff that could get the message out there a lot quicker than a Projekt Storm or Ray Sherrod or Clive is a superstar, so we can't put Clive in that bracket. But me and Ray, for example, and MM is a superstar, that's why they're on the top on my screen. So, but if a Projekt Storm, I want you to go out there and get Lamar Wilson and get Tommy, whatever, 999 or whatever, and Vegeta and all these guys, and then Katie herself and all these people that I saw on that calendar, right? Because it's going to get the word out there quicker. And if you want people to know about Stadia, well, have them tune in, like have all these great content creators cater to their audiences and inform them and educate them and let them hang out. Like, of course, this is going to be a trend. Stadia is just testing the waters with things. They're writing things down on the whiteboard, as John Justice has said before. Jack Buser came out here and he's looking like a genius right now, looking like the superstar, the face of Stadia to me. Because he's telling people what's going to happen beyond this year, beyond this month. And we think this year is dope. Man, can you imagine now they're setting the stage to show you that they're ready to blow your minds in 2021 and beyond. So that's what I'm seeing a glimpse of, man. If you look at the calendar that was displayed, and I did skim through the show. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I saw that calendar and I was like, oh, wait a minute, let me pause. And there were so many content creators, Nintendo and others that I've seen, and they're gonna be playing Stadia and talking to their fans and everything, man. That's just a win-win situation. So I'm done with it. I'll leave it right there.
You said it about the inform and educate, entertain and inform and educate is exactly the place that people who aren't, have never come across Stadia, but yet kind of watch these streamers, they can ask all those dumb questions that we just go, oh, for God's sake. Oh, for God's sake. All the basic FAQs that we expect everybody. Don't you know that? Oh my God! Which is sort of my kind of sin in life, expecting everybody to already know this kind of stuff. But it's exactly those streamers and that place and streaming the games live. People can go, what's this Stadia? How do I play? Well, mate, press the button and join me. Do you know what I mean? That's exactly the perfect place to answer, not on Twitter, not on, the shows that we kind of do and stuff like that, but big streamers streaming the game, getting people to jump in and play and discover Stadia for the first time, ask all the questions that we consider to be dumb because we're Stadia, shills and experts, but get all their sort of, issues or concern. I thought Stadia needed this. Do we have to be? All those questions could be answered while you're playing Super Bomberman with Tommy 999, whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's perfect, and there's lots, as you say, lots in that calendar. So they're going out spreading the good word. The word of the Lord. That's how it works. That's how religion spreads.
And Clive, guess what? There's gonna be those guys that were bashing Stadia. Man, Cyberpunk looks so good. You know, because their credit is going down.
I said it. You know, I said it this week on my show. It's like it's cool. It's cool to like Stadia now.
Now it is,
and the cool kids know it, and the kids who wanted to be cool who still go, oh no, it's dead. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, mate, you're an outlier now. You just look weird,
right, Clive? That's why I kept telling people, hang in there, have faith, don't leave the platform, don't waver. You know what I mean? Have strength. You know that it's going to get real. Like, you know, the potential that the potential is why all of us signed up. The reason why we're here right now, having shows and doing what we do, spending hours of our lives, right? It's the potential of the platform. Hey, Clive, you're one of the people, and you know it's a fact. Ray can back it up, MM, and the chat. We've never heard you really wavering, man. And that's what I like. So it's kind of like, if you really see the vision, right?
It's never been blind faith. It's never been blind faith. Yeah, it's been educated faith. That's what it is.
Yeah, man. But if you see the vision and you play Stadia and you spend hours on this platform, that's why I always tell people, put the hours in. Then you're free to throw shots at Stadia. You throw shots at me and everybody else because you put the time in. Like, but don't come out here if you just heard somebody else say something and then you just piggybacked on what they're saying and you're following that blind lead or whatever. So my thing is, though, the platform is great. People might feel like they're forgetting about the people like us that put hard work in. I don't think that's the case, man. I don't think that's the case. Just like they've shown time after time. Cyndi Lauper, time after time. Let's go. Just like they've shown, right? So many times that they are listening to what we're saying. They know what we want. Because every now and then people might get mad. Oh, they don't have this. Oh, man, there's no real MMOs and all that. I'm like, well, Elder Scrolls Online is an MMO. Destiny 2 is considered a action MMO. I mean, so you got to think about what you're saying. I don't know, man. It's just
you didn't pay 500. You know what? I saw somebody put playing on the greatest platform on the box or whatever.
Yeah,
you didn't pay. You know how big Cyberpunk's gonna be? It's gonna be over 70 something gigs.
I'm sure I read there was a one-day patch of 56.
Yeah,
no, I did. I heard that there's like a one-day patch already.
And so, but the thing about it is Electric Air Cloud. Yeah. I buy it, a click and a play, and I'm gonna get me a controller and a Chromecast for free. Yeah. Come on, man. You get another platform for free that you can put in a box. Hey, Merry Christmas. Here you go. All right, come on, man.
While people are getting patches, we will be playing continuously. You know what I'm saying?
The days of trying to get an easy click on Stadia has no games, or you can't do this. Like, we're even at a point now to where I thought that the new consoles and an extra $500 were already releasing with the 4K 60 mode for Division. They still don't have it yet. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We have it without having to pay that additional $500. So I think those days are pretty much numbered, and today was just another testament of it. Yeah, I personally, my personal opinions, I love the show. I thought it was great. I thought it was, I'm going to hit key elements to bring more people in. And I'm just wondering, are they going to use the connects for the hardcore stuff that's releasing or whatever? It'll be interesting to see what they do in 2021. But a show like this, I agree. I hope this is the format that they keep up. They need this periodically. This will do wonders for them. All right, my friends, on to the next topic. As we were talking about the aforementioned Ubisoft Plus, let's talk now about Immortals Fenyx Rising. I said it right, Storm, for the first time ever, probably.
You did, man. I love it. I love it, bro. Keep on. Hey, keep that fire going, man. Let's go.
Ray.
Yes.
Storm played it too, but you, I think, are the only person here that's played it on Stadia. Right? Has anybody else played it on Stadia?
No, I didn't play it.
Man,
I didn't play it on. He played it on Stadia.
Oh, okay. Well, Storm
played it on Stadia.
You got to get it right. Storm spent that $60. Ray is hesitating right now. He don't want to spend that $60. Now Ray spends $60
First of all,
hey, hold on, wait a minute, man.
Hold on. No.
Hey, wait a minute,
Ray.
Ray got 102 games.
Yeah,
Oh,
Ray was the first.
Ray. Google Stadia gave you how many? Hey, Google Stadia gave you half of those games, Ray.
Ray was the first on Stadia Source to get the 100 game achievement.
Wow.
Hey, Ray, you know what? I can't come at you for that one, Ray. I didn't even know there's a damn 100 game achievement. I didn't know that, so I need to step it up a little bit. I'm at 80.
Nobody reached those heights.
All right.
That's
right.
So
Stadia did 40%. Mr. Ray Sherrod spent 60%. All right.
Wow, unbelievable.
Well, you know what, Ray? I got to give it to you, man. I'm only at I might be over 90 now with all these new games that just dropped. You know what I'm saying? I mean, surprises and stuff. But Ray, the point is, man. Here's the point, bro.
Go ahead.
Immortals Fenyx Rising is one of those games. You played the demo. You loved the demo, Ray. You got the exclusive armor set and everything, Ray. You telling me that you did that for naught? Come on, bro. Hey, Ray, I'll tell you after the show, bro. I'll tell you after the show, and I'm gonna give you an ultimatum, man. If you don't cop that game by 6 o'clock your time, West Coast time, bro, take me off your friend list, man.
Golly, man, this guy's angry. What's wrong with him?
Nah, hey, the game is great. The game
I think I got 49 other people, man.
You do.
I got 49 other
people. Hey, the game is beautiful, y'all. It runs great. The sound's great. Like, the story is different than the demo. I mean, I was like, I didn't know what the hell to do. I was like, wait a minute, this is not what I played on the demo, bro. This is the real game. Like, but it feels a little bit more polished to me, man. It just looks more polished. It feels, and I played it on my native PC, so I know how that looked. I played it at 120 hertz or 120 FPS at 1080p. I know how that feels. Stadia is still there, man. It's right there. It looks beautiful. I'm just gonna shut up and just drop the videos a little bit later, man. After this show, I'll have one. I'm gonna try to make like an hour-long gameplay vid. So that should say it right there, MM2K. I'm telling you right now, man. The game is dope. For all the people that came to this platform for the game, they got a chance to purchase that today if they wanted to. If they don't want to wait for Ubisoft Plus or whatever, they've got an opportunity to play that game, and I'm sure that they're happy. Their kids, it's a family type game that everybody can family share. You can watch it, you know what I mean? Huddle around the TV and just have a blast, man. It's one of those. I love it.
I hate hearing that, Storm, because I was trying to do a Ray and hold out. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what? I could play it on PC. I could play it on PC, but
you could. All you have to do is download it.
Yeah.
But I love the convenience of Stadia, and I get that there's
PC.
What's that? Say that again, Clive.
You could start it on PC.
Yeah, I could start it on PC. Yeah, you're right.
Clive.
You're right. I just need that convenience, like, because I love you. I am the epitome of playing all over my house. Like, I literally, I get up here and I get to play with my friends online, and then when my wife comes home, then the sky goes dark. And then the fun just is evaporated from the man cave, and I got to go downstairs. But then just a couple of presses of the button, boop boop boop, I'm able to play downstairs. And I can do that with GFN, but GFN and Stadia just aren't the same. You know what I mean?
The game ran pretty well on GFN, and you know how I feel about it. I've definitely had some connection issues, some low stream quality issues. But Immortals Fenyx, it's like they breathe a breath of fresh air, not a breath of the wild, breath of fresh air. And people might say the game compares to Zelda and all that. That's a hell of a game to compare it to for me. Zelda, Assassin's Creed, and God of War. Assassin's Creed and God of War. Yes, sir. I'll take it.
Good mix.
But okay, but at least for those that were concerned, because I know a lot of us were concerned. We talked about it on a previous show, Storm. Like, is there going to be a 60 frames per second mode? And I get it. That's not a concern for everybody, but for some people that care about the performance, it is a big deal for them. And it was great. And I think Zach Laidlaw, shout out to him, he broke that news when he wrote that article last night. So shout out to him. Any other thoughts overall about Immortals Fenyx Rising? I mean, for those that have played it at all.
Motako said is awesome. How about that? How does that sound? Motako said is awesome.
Can we get an initial score? Just or something like that.
Oh, I'll give you my score right now because I saw a 7 on IGN. I could call them out. I'm not a pub. I'm not.
They gave it a 7?
I could do all that.
Yeah.
I said a 7 on IGN, right? I saw a 7 on GameSpot, right? And I
Mm.
said I went to Metacritic, and I think it was 82 yesterday when I looked at it.
Okay.
But let me tell you right now, man, I had to
82,
play
that seems
enough.
reasonable.
I had to play enough of the game. Let me put like 5-6 hours into it, right? And then I'll
Yep.
give you the real score. But my initial score right now, my first appearance score is a
Yep.
9. Easy,
Yeah.
man. It's a 9 because it's kind of like
I am hearing that a lot.
it's like it's like you're playing this on stage. See, we've gotten so comfortable now that we forgot that we're playing on the cloud. And see, right there, that shows you what Stadia is all about. And you can't say cloud gaming in general because you can play Xcloud, and Xcloud is great and everything, man. Forza and all these games run great on there, right? But it's at 720p, and I got a 4K TV that I spent $1,700 US for, the Samsung Q80T, y'all. I want to be playing at the highest visual fidelity, and I'll compromise every once in a while for 60 FPS. But this game is one of those showcase games. It's that let's wrap up the end of the year with Immortals Fenyx Rising, man. It's dope. It's dope. I like it.
Awesome.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. I give it a 10. Okay.
Ooh,
all right.
okay.
I'm giving it a 10. And then Projekt, just so you know, not everybody is a 4K 60 frames per second streamer. You got to think about those guys out there that are casual. You got to think about those guys that can't get those wonderful graphic cards and stuff out there. There's the 1080s and the 720s or whoever. But the thing about it is that the game, it's not just about the graphics, it's about the story. Okay?
Hey, wait, the story is there, man.
And the story is, it's an amazing,
it is, bro,
story. It is a rewarding, most games you get rewarded. It makes you use your people. It makes you use your brain because there's puzzles that you have to figure out.
Right.
There's things that you have to you got to use your brain to figure puzzles out. And it is a beautiful, it's a 10.
And you know what? It's not as cringe as some people might have thought, like with the with Zeus and not to give away too much, but like with the characters, the main characters, some of the gods in the game, right? It's not whack.
No.
Actually, it's a storyline. I'm like, whoa, this is put together. Let me get more into it. As a matter of fact, right after the stream, I'm making some more content. It's
a 10. So I'm playing Geforce on Shadow, and I went into the settings and I just cranked up everything very high, very high, very high, very high, very high, very high. Just pushed it to my memory max, and it looks beautiful. In my opinion, to me, it looks great. It looks beautiful. I played, like I said, I started at 3:00 in the morning. I could not put the damn controller down.
I understand what you mean.
Because you just want to keep the story pulls you in, and then you want, and you have options because you're on this giant island, and you can do this story, you could do that story, and it's just, man, it's just so good, people, and the detail of the characters, it's just you gotta play. It's a game that you gotta play. I'm gonna play the hell out of it until Cyberpunk, and maybe when I put Cyberpunk away, I'm gonna play it. But and I was telling my friend, this is a must have. And if you're playing it on any other platform, I agree with Projekt. I agree with you. I think it's going to be a hell of a lot better because I played the demo. I got my armor and I played the demo on Stadia, so I know what it's going to look like on Stadia. And honestly, it's when you play the game, it's more than you're getting so much more. You're getting so much more. So yeah, it's good. It's great. I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Trust me, I'm down with it.
Clive, did you or you haven't played the full game yet, right? You just
no. I've just played the demo, but I just asked the others there. So, do you think there has been some graphical enhancements since the demo?
I think it's cleaner. I wouldn't say it's a major overhaul, but to my eyes, it looks a bit more polished. I liked it. I like what I'm seeing. I really do, man. I'm not gonna say it's still 30 FPS at 4K. I have not tested the 1080p 60 mode that they're talking about. The performance mode, I did not see an option for that on because I have everything set to 4K though. I have my stream, my Stadia streaming at 4K all the time. But I have not tested 1080p. But I didn't see a performance mode option like you could switch on Shadow the Tomb Raider or something like that either. So I'm just letting people know, don't expect it to be like 4K 60 or anything. But I like the game. I could play through it, and it's rare because Watch Dogs Legion, I could not play that game because I got to a point where there was a major hiccup, a major performance dip, damn near a freeze. At that moment, I had to refund it. I said, well, you know what, Ubisoft Plus, I'll play it on that or something. Now, this game right here, I'm not seeing any of that, and that's a good thing.
Awesome. Is it you plan on picking it up, Clive, or are you going to wait for the Ubisoft Plus?
Well, I mean, I've just had like the sales pitch of all sales pitches,
Hey, look, I'm telling you,
two of the best snake oil salesmen out there. No.
Oh man.
Hey, you know what? I'll drop the. You know what I'm gonna do for the people? By the end of the show, I'm gonna drop my first video. I wasn't gonna drop it because I died two horrible deaths at the end, but I'm gonna drop it for the people right after this. Get ready for it. I'm gonna drop my first footage, and then Clive, you tell me if you think you could jump in when I drop.
I ended up getting Doom 2016 after watching your bloody stream.
That's why I can't watch it. I can't watch it because I've watched his streams and I've actually bought some games, off of his streams.
This guy, he shouldn't even be here. He should be at Sony somewhere. Yeah. This guy sold PlayStation Now better than PlayStation ever did. He made PlayStation Now look like it was running off a 3090 card.
That's why I'm playing. I'm playing PlayStation Now because of Projekt Storm. I watched him. I watched his stream, and I said, "Holy, you know what?" And I started playing it, and he's at it. And I even on my podcast, I said, "People, if you saw his stream, it looks amazing. You guys need to look. You need to." And first of all, guys, there's nothing wrong playing on multiple platforms. Okay,
no, absolutely not.
There's nothing wrong. Yeah. If you can play it and it works, play it. But it looked beautiful. Go check his stream out. It did look nice, and I did go try it out.
I will say this though, the video that you're gonna see shortly after this stream is over. I did die at the end, but I didn't even care. It was just two beautiful deaths. I'll tell you right now. There's no spoiler. One of them the last one was intentional because I knew I had to wrap up. Because if I didn't stop playing, I would have missed this show. So I'm just telling you all, what you're gonna see is intentional. But the game is beautiful, man. That's all. But MM2K. Now with all that said, do you plan to cop the game, or are you still gonna hold out?
I think I'm gonna follow Clive's suggestion. I'm gonna hold out. Nothing against Stadia. I love to support them as much as I can. I'm a double dip with Cyberpunk. You know what I mean? I'm double dipping with Cyberpunk. It's nothing against Stadia. It's just, come on, Ubisoft. I've been paying these people $16 a month for a whole year. I've only utilized the service like 3 times. You know what I'm saying? So they've been getting free money from me. It's time that I got to back off a little bit and just say, you know what? I got to reserve my money for Cyberpunk. I'm looking at Chronos Before the Ashes. I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. It's a hard decision, but
it all adds up.
Hey, look, let me do this. Let me share this.
Shame on you all. Shame on both of you.
He said, I mean, look, they think that this was just a thumbnail for me. That's literally me, how I feel right now. looking into my empty wallet. I feel like this young man right here, man, like nothing but lint and hair follicles coming out right now.
Moths coming out of it.
Yeah, moth. Right, it's a look outward. Look at they stealth drop outward. It's like Clive said, they want you to just go in the little drawers and they're just throwing little whack-a-moles. They're playing with your wallet here. It's now, hard.
Outward is one that I couldn't really do. When I saw the rain, y'all, everybody knows I'm a graphics fiend, right? But when I saw the rain on the game was okay. There was a couple stutters here and there, but it was overall an intriguing type game. I do think that I could get into it. But when I saw the rain and the rain wasn't really hitting the ground, I said, nah, let me refund that. It's not for me right now. I need to see some visual effects that makes the game believable to me. You know what I mean? Even with a cartoony type game like Immortals Fenyx Rising, I get connected to the characters, you know what I mean? And I like the world that I'm playing in and all the secrets and everything, just climbing like Assassin's Creed. It's a dope game. So anyway, man, enough said about the game. If y'all don't play it, I'm going to turn my bit rate so high and drop the crispiest 4K content I can drop and send it right to you.
Now, what are you gonna say come the end of December and you look and you see my name and you see Immortal Fenyx Rising and you see me playing?
And what if Ubisoft?
What are you gonna say?
What if
you gonna say? You gonna refund me my damn $60?
And what if Ubisoft decides that they want to push it back to next year? You know, because they got so many games on the platform, and you all are waiting even like a month or two longer than you thought you were gonna wait.
Don't do that.
I'm just saying. What if that happens?
I'll draw a line in the sand. How about that?
We're going to blame you. We're going to blame you for talking it into fruition. It better not happen.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man.
No, great discussion, guys. Hey, you got it from Storm. He's going to drop that video that's going to make you drop your wallet. You know how it goes.
Yeah. Video will make you drop your wallet.
You could be smelling the bacon. Come on, the crispy.
Right?
All right, guys.
It's beautiful.
I think we can squeeze this one in. This is going to be. This might be a contentious one.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Everybody, get into your corner. Let's get ready to rumble. No,
rumble time.
I want to precurse this section with just this. I think our good friend Ray Sherrod hit the nail right on the head. Play where you want to play. Okay. Despite anybody's opinions, if MM2K is having a bad time with something, but you love it, hey, if you like it, I love it. You know how the saying goes. This section right here is not to deter anybody from anything. It's just to talk about our individual experiences. And then if we want to fight it out too, let's get ready to run. No, let me stop.
Nah, man, it's necessary. No, that intro is necessary right now.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm not trying to stroke the mane of the Stadia diehards by saying what I say, and I don't want to attack Ray or Storm or Clive, anybody that might have an ulterior view, because my experience is my experience, and somebody else's experience might be their own experience. So I just want to precurse that before we get into the subject matter. But now we're going to talk about Amazon Luna. Amazon Luna opened up their invites, and I think they opened their invites to the most critical wing of the United States, because there's been a lot of us that have been, through ups and downs as far as our initial thoughts as this platform is concerned. Now, unfortunately, our good friend and my spiritual advisor, Clive, was not given access to this because this is a US-based only beta. But Clive, with everything that you have heard, you perceived, the people that you know that have had access, what are your initial thoughts of what Luna is presenting to this point in time?
It's interesting to be one of those people in the streams going, when's it coming to my country? When's it coming to my country? When you see people in Stadia streams, when's it coming to Switzerland? When's it coming to India?
Right.
When's it coming to the UK? And Europe, the rest of the world. But yeah, so I mean, look, I'm, full transparency. Yeah, I don't have it. I'm therefore unqualified to talk about the experience of playing it. However, that said and acknowledged, my perceptions are that, again, given the benefit of that, it's at the beginning of its journey. Mm-hmm. Stadia is 12 months old now. Mm-hmm. But for me, Stadia's always been about the future. Mm-hmm. And whilst a lot of people are sort of focused on the present, like, is it got the games that I play, or why should I buy, as I said before, buy all old games, new games again, buy all my old games again to play on this thing, whatever. They've only perceived it as some sort of service in which to play games, and that's kind of it. That's Stadia. But I've always seen and know, and we're beginning to see it now, and we're beginning to hear talk about it in Stadia, is they are building for the future. Yeah. And what I mean by they're building they have built a platform in the sky. Mm-hmm. And as we've seen, that we are just in the first wave of that, in which just bring the games, fill out the games, bring games people expect, bring interesting games, curate interesting games, and stuff like that. Amazon are coming at it a different approach, and I obviously have my preference how I like things to be done, but it's not to say this is a bad approach. They're coming at it going, what's Amazon's sort of tag? Amazon's tag is we're a marketplace. Amazon, the marketplace of the world. That's what it is. Amazon's sort of raison d'etre is to sell stuff. Yeah. And if cloud gaming is the next big thing and they want to be part of that, which they clearly do, and they have the infrastructure to support that, then that's what they're going to do. They're going to sell stuff. I know every company sells stuff, but some companies literally, that's their, as I say, their raison d'etre. They're there to sell stuff. So they're all about selling a service in which you can easily access and play games, just like, Amazon Prime in that kind of same manner with the sort of channels and stuff like that. And they'll no doubt will get to a situation where they'll approach the publishers who are sort of umming and ahhing and looking at their IP going, oh, we'd like to sort of be able to make this available on a cloud basis, but we don't have the infrastructure. Why don't we just have a channel on Amazon? And I very much see that's very much Amazon Luna's approach, that kind of channel approach. Whereas an interesting thing I thought about Stadia, where an interview with the head of one of the director of games for Stadia and Entertainment, saying it's a curation. They curate games. They're not just lobbing games on there for the sake of it. Yeah. So it's a bit like back in the day when you used to go in Blockbuster. The only bit you were really interested in was in the new releases. And yet it was full of like just loads of junk.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you didn't get there early enough for the new releases, you'd be walking out one of those, pieces of junk.
Swamp Thing from '83.
Yeah. You might discover something you didn't know, or put it on with your parents and suddenly regret that you didn't read the back of the label properly.
The label, yeah.
But that's sort of how I perceive Amazon, is just like, oh, we'll get what stuff we can out there, but. But if you look at their content, they haven't got, they can't really sell, because they don't sell stuff like despite what I just said, they sell channels, but they don't sell the individual games. They can't bring you the brand new AAA games day and date, unless, of course, you're accessing it via Ubisoft Plus. Yeah. But they can't, is Cyberpunk going to be on Luna?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you buy it? Are they going to have it on? No, because that's not right now. The publishers aren't going to want to put their AAA games on that particular rental service. Yeah. Because you can't buy it. They put them on Stadia because people will buy it. People are still buying, Red Dead Redemption. People will buy Cyberpunk. So that's why. So that's the beauty of the Stadia model. Not just people say, I don't understand the Stadia business model. I don't get it. It's confusing to me. But as Stadia themselves have said, again, it's not just good for the consumer. It's good for the publishers. That's what they've. This is not me saying this. This is what this director of Stadia Games and Entertainment has said. They have found in talking to the publishers that they like that model, because at one time Stadia can come up to you and go, here's a big lump sum of money, we'll have your game as a pro title for a while. But the deal is, whoever claims it, they get to have it for as long as they're Remember Pro, so it doesn't go out the cycle. That's an interesting game. But equally, your game will also be available to people to buy. So we'll give you a lump sum of money to make it pro, but for those that use Stadia, which doesn't cost them anything to use, they can also, if they really want that game, they can also buy it. And then to the big publishers with the big AAA releases, it's just another platform in which you release and spend all your marketing money on promoting Exhibit A, Cyberpunk. Luna's business model, which is really aimed at that kind of having channels and the kind of Netflix, or you know, the sort of Netflix approach. You subscribe to a channel and then you get what's ever on there, you know. But you're not necessarily going to, you know, if you're lucky, it's like Amazon Prime. If you're lucky, some of the big films go on Amazon Prime, but some don't. So you have to sort of buy them or rent them. But they're not giving you that option in Luna. Whereas on Stadia, well, you get all these lovely, interesting, curated pro games, which is really cool. And you may decide that's how you want to, you know, like I hardly ever buy a game on Xbox. I just like trying whatever's on
Game Pass.
Xbox. There's plenty, Games Pass. And right now I'm thinking, you know, apart from the odd big game that I go, wow, I really want that, you know, Immortals Fenyx Rising, maybe. No, I'll wait for the but like Cyberpunk, it's like, or Jedi Fallen, which I've been waiting to play for a long time. It's like, here's my money.
Yep.
You know, I'm happy to. So that's how I perceive it. Really, the very different business models. But for me, I like the Stadia business model because I get the brand new AAA games if I want them, and I get a lovely curated library that grows and grows and grows and stays with me. You know, to we're at about 60 odd games, I think, in Stadia Pro.
Yes, feels like more, but
but it's around about something like, probably we've got another 2 today, so I'm losing count. But you know, so that's how I perceive it. So I just think that the advantage, and we're only beginning to see it now, the advantage Stadia has is that they're building something for the future. So the next wave of games, which are built specifically for the platform, you know, that have those things that you can do in the cloud you can't do on PC and consoles or whatever. Whereas, you know, Amazon took the short-term way of saying, okay, we'll take, you know, it's easy to port games to Amazon. And people going, well, you see, that Amazon have won it. Yeah, it's easy, you know, but that's that short-termism. The future, because more and more developers will develop on Vulkan and stuff because it's more versatile. It's more future-proof anyway. So they're going to be upgrading their tools and stuff anyway. So, and this is what Stadia have in mind. They're thinking, what are people going to be doing in the future? Not necessarily what people are doing now. Whereas Amazon are going, okay, we need to get to people now so we can port all these games because they're glorified. Basically, all they're doing are just glorified PC versions of the games. So unless they're building out a platform that you can develop games specifically for, like Stadia, then all you'll get are games that have been developed for a different platform that are just available to play through Luna, which is fine if that's what you want. But I'm interested in, okay, what if people rethink the way they develop games and develop it using the functionality of cloud in a way you cannot do with PC and consoles. So that's how I see it.
Beyond just convenience, but uproot the whole mind state towards development. Clyde, Ray, I know you're chomping at the bit. I would like to close out this segment with your thoughts. So because I think me, Clyde, and Storm kind of like on the same on this, but I think your perspective on this is key as well, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
Everybody's heard my thoughts on this. I'll just go over it real quick. The pros from my personal experience was I think the third-party controller support is uncanny. I mean, you know, in some instances it did work better than Stadia in the third-party controller thing. I did think it was cool that they presented Ubisoft Plus first, and the latency isn't as bad as people may imagine it would be. It's not better than Stadia, but it's not that far off. I can definitely say that. With that being said, the cons were, for me, the performance was not regular. In order for me to get the 60 frames per second that I desire, so if you're one like this is something you got to consider. You got to make a decision. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You're either going to get poopy textures. I hate to put it like that. You're going to get poopy textures and great performance, or very subpar performance and great fidelity. And that's my experience. And to me, because of the latter, the cons, I really didn't have a great experience. Also, the thing that really threw it over the top for me is that I bought the Fire Cube TV for the purpose, first and foremost, for Luna. I wanted to try other things on it, but it's not a cheap piece of hardware. I said at the very least, if I can't get these other things to work, I can get Luna to work on it, and Luna is not working on the thing. So that kind of made me feel a certain type of way. Storm, what are your thoughts overall from your experience? Because I know you thought different things at different times, but can you let everybody know how you feel about it?
Well, you know what, man? Yeah, I am flip-flopping a little bit. The first day, the first encounters I had, everything was positive, man. I was like, whoa, this is great. You know, I took to Twitter, went out there and showed the love and appreciation for what I had been seeing and playing. And in the back of my mind, I knew that, you know, the fidelity wasn't as high as Stadia, because when I played around with the settings, I wasn't able to see like the changes that I would on a PC. You know what I mean? So it kind of like, so it didn't do anything for me. But I was looking for FPS, so I did get that in my first encounter, the first hour or two. After I sent that tweet out on Twitter and praised Luna and apologized to him and asked him to forgive me and everything for trashing it, everything went to hell, man. I can't lie. Like frame rate, connection, message in the top right corner of the screen, everything that you could think of that could go wrong was going wrong. Like black screens, the games wouldn't load. It took about an infinite amount of time for certain games to load after I changed the resolution. I couldn't, for some reason, you can't switch the settings over to DX12. You can only use DX11. I thought that was kind of odd because I know these games are running on PCs or whatever somewhere. So it's just some things that's just not to my liking yet, but it is. I had to be fair. I had to put more hours and days into the service. I'm going to test a multitude of games. Then I'll get back with you all on my overall score. But right now that score is like a 6, man, because when you play Luna, you jump back on Stadia, you realize that Amazon has a long way to go, you know what I'm saying, to get to where Stadia is right now. And they're calling it a beta. I think that's a smart move. So I won't attack them too much, man. I got to keep it fair. I'm an all-around gamer. If as fun as it is to harp on Luna and all that stuff, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna give it a fair shot, man.
Okay. Yep. Ray. Now, what are you've had?
I don't recommend. I'm sorry. I forgot. I don't recommend it right now. I wouldn't. If you ask me, Projekt Storm, should I pay that $5.99 for this early access subscription? I wouldn't. I canceled mine. You never know. Just like with PSN, I wasn't wild and then I came back and I tried it again and I was like, yo, this is impressive. So that could happen too. I don't know.
Ray, you had a way more favorable experience, if that's a fair description of it. Can you let the people know again? Because we don't want everybody to just say, "Ooh, if it worked that way for these guys, so that's the only way it's going to work for me." Let us know, kind of like the apex of how good it can be, depending upon, I guess, certain variables.
All right, guys. You got you guys that are your tech heads that care about the visuals. I am what you call a casual gamer. Visuals and 60 frames per second does not mean that much to me. I need it. Can I play it? Can I play the game? Can I move the character around? I have good internet. So as far as late, I don't have that. I got good internet. I went and upgraded my internet. The controller, I can switch to my Xbox controller. It works great. I can switch to the Luna controller. It works great. I got small baby hands, so it works perfect for me. I'm gonna from a parent. It is basically, people. It is $5.99. You get, you don't have to get Ubisoft Plus. I got Ubisoft Plus on my PC, so I'm paying $5.99. All right. Now I don't know. Projekt Storm said he couldn't get into the games. I get into the games right away. Okay. I get into my games right away. I don't wait. It's very easy for me. I've played hours and I've had a good time. I will be, graphic wise, and that's what I'm saying. If you are a graphic head and you want your 60 frames per sec and you want the smooth textures and all that, this is not the platform for you. But if you are a casual gamer and that does not mean nothing to you, and you just want to be able to, pay a subscription that's not that much and play some games, go for it. Me personally, I look at it as I'm expanding my cloud library, because there's games that Stadia has and there's games that Luna has. There's games that are not on each other's, that they don't have. And so I'm having a ball playing all the old Assassin's Creed games, because most of those Assassin's Creed games wasn't on like really top notch, 60 frames per second anyway on certain some of the older games. And so that's what I'm enjoying. I'm Assassin's Syndicate, Assassins, some of the older classic games. Plus they do have all the Castlevanias, all the if you're a retro head, you've got Castlevania, you've got Contra, you got all the Contra games, you got all the Castlevania games that you can play. So this is more for a casual player, someone that's a retro, somebody that just wants to play some older games or games that are new, but you're not going to get all that wonderful thing. And then once again, people, it is in beta and it's new. So if you're not ready, you want to wait, go ahead and wait. Me, just like Stadia, I gave Stadia a chance. Stadia wasn't buttery smooth when I first started. My internet was crap. And then I figured out how to optimize and do my settings. And here you go. I'm gonna, give Luna a chance to grow. And that's all I'm gonna say. But if it's not, like I said, if you want graphics, then Luna's not for you. But if you want something that you can easily, play, and you don't have to buy the controller, it works great with the Xbox controller.
It does.
It works. It works. And just to be quite honest, I think in some of the games it works even better than the Luna controller. Mm-hmm. But hey, like I said, I'm a gamer. I love gaming. I love cloud gaming. And I'm also a collector. This is something that I'm expanding my clouds. Plus, if you want to play, if you got some friends that want to come over and you want to play one of the Ubisoft crossplay games, you can do that. If you go online and play or something and somebody, you can't, that's the thing. It doesn't have multiplayer, but if you go and you play and someone else is playing on Stadia, like something like Division or something like that,
right?
That's something that you can do. That's a plus. Yeah. So it has its pros and its cons. People, it has its pros and its cons.
I agree, and I want to throw in there too. One thing about the visual fidelity is that Storm and I and others were trying, we were getting 4K visual fidelity and maybe not the best performance, but we were only getting it via the 1080p data. They capped the data performance at the 1080p model, meaning that this isn't the most power or the most juice that can come through this thing. Mm-hmm. So once they release more juice through it, then that's when you could get the better performance. So, my thoughts are, the only thing that I would knock Amazon for personally is the competitive tone that they've tried to have. I don't think that they were really walking with a big stick, but some of the things that I've seen, like that whole commercial where they said, yeah, we don't do what Stadia does. Like, I think that they should treat this the same way GFN treated their beta. Back up off that rhetoric a little bit and just say, hey, look, we're using the power of the clouds, great technology. Give it a try. You'll get access to great games. I'll knock them for that. But overall, I'm going to say this, Stadians, we need Luna, because Luna, if it does well, it keeps Stadia on its heels, and the better Stadia gets. So despite my personal experience with it, I want to see the platform get better for everybody.
Well, New World, I played the New World demo and I love New World. Mm-hmm. I don't want to download New World on my PC. Yeah. I want to play New World on Luna. And so hopefully by that time they have the graphics, they got the 4K, whatever, and it's a lot better. But like I said, guys, once again, it's in beta. Yeah. Mm-hmm. it's in beta. What if you don't want to do it? Just like playing BG3, he told you. This is early access. You're going to see some hiccups. So, that's what a beta is. You're not going to see everything. They're trying to get everything together, but Stadia is light years ahead of Luna. There's honestly, there's no. I don't even like to compare them because it's not a fair comparison.
And I agree with that.
It's I'm gonna compare a beta.
Yeah, it's really not. It's really not.
It's
yeah,
not.
You're right. You're right, because one's in beta, and it's obvious that it's in beta, and one's supposed to be in beta. They still refer to it as a beta type platform, but look at it. I don't know. Hey, man.
Yeah, I totally agree. All right, guys, I think we covered everything that we could squeeze into this 2 hours. That 2 hours went quick, but that's what happens when you have such a wonderful panel. So let's close on out. Everybody, let's let everybody know where they can find you. Let's start with Clive, my spiritual advisor. Please let everybody know where they can find you, Mr. Linden.
Man, you can find me on YouTube /Clive Linden and Stadia Monday Night Chat 10 p.m. UTC. I bring an opinion, and the show is. I like to think the show is entertaining. So check that out. So and then tomorrow night I'm on Rockstars at Night with our good friend Rock. Where we're out to rock, stream and banter. It's a banter fest.
Shout out to Rock.
Yeah. So if you want to see a streaming show. It's like an after the pub streaming show type thing.
Yes,
lots of fun, lots of banter. So that's on tomorrow night as well. So check that out.
Absolutely, Mr. Ray.
Ray 3473. I am the gaming cyborg. You can catch me Mondays. I do a podcast 10 o'clock. Ray 3473 on Twitter. I post when I'm going to be popping up, but I stream. I do a podcast Monday night. Tuesday I do Luna. Wednesday I'm on my wonderful good friend Rock, co-hosting with Rock on Stadia Rocks, and then Friday. Thursday, Friday, I'm on a break, and then Saturday, Sunday, I'm streaming on Twitch.
Right, all right. And last but certainly not least, he couldn't even wait. He's already dropping videos. He's already dropping mixtapes all over the place.
You already know what it is.
How disrespectful is this man? No, shout out to my homie Projekt Storm. Projekt Storm. Let everybody know the 87,000 shows that you're on every week.
Hey man, I'm a man of my word. Look, what's today, man? Thursday. All right. Saturday, catch us on Projekt Storm on my channel, right?
Yes.
The SML podcast with MM2K. We have a lot of fun, man. We chop it up. We show love to everybody. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate this Stadia gaming, this cloud gaming, and gaming as a whole. All right, catch us there. On Sunday, you can catch me at Snow Bunny Gaming's on our show, where I'm the co-host of that show. And that is the Ying meets Yang of gaming. We call it Ying on purpose, right? Ying meets Yang of gaming. You can find us at 2:00 Eastern time on Sunday. Check us out over there. And MM2K, man, I'll let you catch the rest, I guess.
Like we gave you all the programs, the commission, of course here the SSC, and you can check me out on MM2K videos there for the commission. We had a great show last night. You guys gotta watch that show.
It was fun, super fun. Had a special guest call in and everything. Man.
We had shout out to G Million too for his
man, for the yapper. And shout out to Squid for the live phone call.
Yeah, Squid for the live phone call. Fatal Charade. The referee of Crime Side Wrestling. Inside, you guys got to watch the episode. It went crazy, and we had nothing to do with it. You got to watch.
It was so much fun. Though.
Absolutely. And last but not least, congratulations to Clive Linden and Projekt Storm for being nominees in the Cloud Awards. I think Ray, are you nominated too for streaming?
Ray's in there with me.
I'm going against him, man.
He's going against me, man. So it's only fitting that we went at it today on the show. But you know what though, Ray, man? Ray knows, man. Right. Ain't nothing but love over here, man. East Coast, West Coast. You know
this is a star-studded panel. Yeah. This channel was awarded for something, but who cares? We ain't thinking about
there is no losers whatsoever
at all.
Absolutely
no losers.
I don't even care if they decide or not.
Yeah, everybody's a winner. All nominees are all winners.
With that being said, Projekt Storm is the best in this month.
Dirty Snake. Dirty Snake.
Hell no.
That's right. Some are more winners than others. That's all we'll say.
With that said, no, this is it just hit me, guys, that we all are nominees. So you got a star-studded show today. I hate to sound cocky, but it is what it is. Hey, congratulations to everybody. Best of luck to everybody. There are no losers, all winners, man. This is a fantastic community, and I love it.
Absolutely.
It just keeps getting better and better.
How can you not get hype about it, though, MM2K? So for all of you that's on the fence about jumping into this community and this platform, man, and what it has to offer, I'm telling you, you may not regret it. Do so.
Yeah.
Just do it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You can always rescind that move, but try it.
Yep, absolutely. Everybody. Yeah, everybody. This is a great community. And definitely, look, we're on the, speaking of community, I just want to say this real quick and we're going to close out. We are on the cusp of 1,000 viewers or 1,000 subscribers. Subs. I always get that wrong. We're on the cusp of 1,000 subs. Now, I'm not saying that because this is something that I did. I couldn't have done this without y'all. Once we hit 1,000 subs, though, y'all, the game changes. We got so many things lined up that are community based. I don't want to say anymore.
He ain't lying.
We got so much. This is just the beginning. We're going to really be turning things up for the community. We're really putting this platform in the hands of the community. That's all I can say before Storm beats me up. So when we get there, we're going to celebrate. Man. We're going to, I know.
No, you did.
We're going to celebrate, and then we're turning the platform over to you guys. You'll see how. With that said, thank you guys so much for your support. We appreciate you, love you guys and gals. And with that said, you all have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.
And Luna.
Yeah, whatever.
Man, come on, man.